Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Zacharias, Vice President of Human Resources for Stanford. I'm delighted to welcome all of you to this groundbreaking ceremony, and particularly to extend a welcome to those who are watching online. This event brings together many people who have worked so hard and so collaboratively on the development of this new campus. We are honored today to have representatives with us from the Redwood City community and city government, with whom we've worked so closely over so many years, and to have representatives from Congressman Jackie Spears' office, as well as representatives from State Assembly Member Kevin Mullins and State Senator Jerry Hill's offices. Our Stanford leadership is with us today also, leaders who have provided the vision and foresight to plan for the university's needs and to create this innovative campus. The planners, designers, architects, and construction teams who have designed and are now building this campus are here as our representatives from the organizations at Stanford who will be occupying our new facilities. When it opens in 2019, Stanford Redwood City will provide state-of-the-art offices for people across Stanford who provide critical support to our mission. This is an exciting opportunity for us. It's exciting to be a part of the Redwood City community. It's exciting to establish an entirely new workplace with the opportunity to create new ways of working together and new traditions while also bringing the best of Stanford to this new location. With 2,700 employees initially occupying Stanford Redwood City, it'll be exciting to share our culture from this campus to our original campus as well. You'll hear more today about the work being done to make this a great new part of Stanford and a great contributor to the Redwood City community. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you for your contributions that you've made in bringing us to this significant milestone. We at Stanford look forward to being a bigger part of Redwood City and to having a vibrant new workplace in support of our university mission. And now I'd like to introduce David Lennox, Stanford's university architect. David?
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome everyone. I'd like to spend a few minutes to share insights about the vision and the design of the Stanford Redwood City campus, and hopefully be able to show you the feel and sense of place that we're trying to achieve, how it will contribute to the community, and how it will evoke the Stanford campus itself. And if you look out over the dirt, I hope I'm able to help you visualize the design for this campus and what you will experience when the buildings open in 2019. As the planning commenced on this project, we had a really large team, designers, campus users, Stanford real estate, university planning, contractors, the local community, as well as the Stanford Redwood City staff. And it became clear that we needed to articulate a vision and guiding principles so that we'd all be on the same page during this journey. The vision is to create a vibrant workplace that inspires our community to further Stanford's mission, and it has served as this excellent foundation for our programming and planning, and I'm really excited to be here today to talk about what a bold commitment Stanford has made to building such a high-quality campus. Our work on the design of the Stanford Redwood City campus is focused on creating a strong sense of place, shaping a campus that evokes a sense of pride, a sense of higher purpose, crafting an environment that really helps us to build connections, and not only connections within the campus itself, but also connections to the local community, and also committing to the design integrity and quality that we know of Stanford architecture. So I was going to say, imagine what it's like to be here on a beautiful day, but we are here on a beautiful day, strolling down the arcade which stretches along the Greenway. And this arcade will be very similar to the arcades we have on Stanford. They connect our buildings and our beautifully landscaped courtyards. The warm tones of the wood ceiling, the accent light fixtures, the benches, and the offering of peeks into the collaborative office spaces hopefully evokes that same feeling that we all felt when we first visited Stanford, strolled through the main quad, and observed students learning in the classrooms. Grounded in strong, precise planning principles generated in collaboration with the Stanford and Redwood City staff, our new campus highlights key components that contribute to the vibrant sense of place. The town square, it's our front door. It will be the heart of campus and a great opportunity for us to create the Stanford ethos and build connections to the university. Visualize, if you will, the iconic Stanford red banners flanking the square to celebrate an event on campus like graduation, or a student group performing an a cappella concert during a Thursday lunch. Imagine buying vegetables or fruit from the farmer's stand, from produce grown at the O'Donohue family Stanford Educational Farm, or even just joining our neighbors from Friendly Acres or North Fair Oaks, strolling through this space to grab a cup of coffee, hop on the Marguerite shuttle, and catch that morning Caltrain. This town square will really be the heart of campus and reflect the spirit of the Stanford culture and the importance of community connection. The Greenway is that lush landscape mall. It really stitches all the buildings and the courtyards together. It'd be a great venue for casual walks, perhaps more active exercise, areas of respite, and even opportunities to highlight artwork. The east end of the Greenway is anchored by an open, accessible park commons that will accommodate passive recreation and hopefully an occasional campus-wide event. And you can just imagine coming out of the dining pavilion and catching a glimpse of the Tai Chi class or local neighborhood kids tossing around the frisbee or kicking the soccer ball. The fitness center will have exercise and multi-use spaces bathed in natural light, a second-level outdoor swimming pool, and a gym for all types of wellness and recreation. A sculptural red stair will wind up the side of the parking garage, which is adjacent to the rec center, and overlooks the outdoor exercise spaces. We all thought this would be a great opportunity for running the steps in a hip class boot camp. I'm often asked what principles we use at Stanford to tie together the older buildings like the main quad and the more contemporary buildings we've built recently. And we usually concentrate our efforts on three objectives. Number one, let's put the building in the right place. Let's site our buildings in accordance with a well thought out framework and master plan. Number two, leverage our custom of creating consistent color palettes, high quality materials, and material palettes. And number three, connecting our buildings to the exterior landscape. Stanford Redwood City campus builds on all of these notions. And in fact, I would submit if we were to take these buildings that we're constructing and their landscapes and plop them right down next to the SEQ, they'd fit in beautifully. A thing you need to know, we'll be standardizing on our high quality buff colored limestone that we've been using in many of our recent contemporary buildings here. The 4 primary office buildings are designed to feel like they're part of a campus family. From day one, we talked about the difference between an office park and a campus, and this is truly going to be a campus. The buildings, like most academic campuses, will be unique. Cardinal red projecting roof overhangs, terracotta appointments, as well as inviting entries will lend an air of stature. Stanford has nurtured a rich tradition of creating diverse landscape spaces that directly support the heritage of place, and the Stanford Redwood City campus will build on this strength. Intimate courtyards between the buildings will provide areas to gather, work individually, work with your teams, or even celebrate events with your departments. Landscaped at the open accessible park commons supports the passive and active recreation, but it also will complement the activities in the adjacent Spinas Park. We have carefully selected trees, shrubs, ground cover to thrive in this area and from day one create a strong sense of place. So in closing, our culture in land buildings and real estate is to proudly serve as caretakers of the legacy. And the Stanford and Redwood City campus is certainly going to be worthy of being an extension of that legacy. I'm confident that the architecture, the landscape, the sense of place, and the infusion of Stanford culture and ethos will exceed the expectations of our employees that will work here, our visitors, and our neighborhood community. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Steve Denning, the chairman of the Stanford Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dave. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to express my pleasure in being with all of you today for the groundbreaking of our new Stanford campus in Redwood City. I want to thank Dave, our university architect, Bob Reedy, our Vice President of Land and Real Estate, for the captivating design for this campus and for all of the preparation, hard work, and planning that got us to this point. Stanford's Board of Trustees approves all major renovations in all new buildings on the campus, but seldom is it involved in the way it was with the emergence of the new Redwood City campus. More than a decade ago, Stanford's board recognized that expansion of the Stanford academic and research mission would likely be constrained and would eventually require additional land beyond our Palo Alto campus. And with the dot-com correction, some internet businesses in the area proved to be unsuccessful, leaving large parcels potentially available. Knowing of the long-term needs of the university, two trustees, Bob Burke and John Scully, urged the university, and Land and Buildings in particular, and many others across the university staff, to assess what parcels of land might be available within a reasonable distance of campus. John Scully became the chairman of this initiative and pushed the board to support and encourage Bob Reedy's team to pursue the Excite at-home parcel here in Redwood City. John Scully is no longer on the board, but I do want to acknowledge and thank him for presciently suggesting and persistently encouraging the university to pursue this site here in Redwood City. Now we are all positioned to be beneficiaries of this wise decision, to move forward, acquire this site, and build a campus that, as Dave has just described, is truly special. The creation of the Redwood City campus, the first significant expansion by Stanford outside its main campus, represents one of the largest financial investments the board has ever approved. It did so because the board considers the Redwood City campus to be a vital, strategic investment in Stanford's future, allowing the university the flexibility to expand the core campus in Palo Alto as needed for teaching, research, and housing, while concurrently having a nearby campus with sufficient scale to allow us to unite and consolidate critical support functions in one unified, integrated, accessible, and convenient site, and in an array of campus-like facilities that are beautiful, functional, and sustainable. Our Stanford community includes some of the most capable staff in higher education. We would not be one of the leading universities in the world without our staff's steadfast commitment to Stanford. Thus it was, as Dave described, of paramount importance that the Redwood City campus be as Stanford-like as possible in look, feel, and amenities, which we feel that Bob, Dave, and their team have achieved these aspirational objectives. We are excited to be making the move and partnering with Redwood City. We admire and respect the pervasive sense of community found here and the strong municipal leadership that has embraced collaborating with Stanford. We look forward to nurturing and developing the relationship between Stanford and Redwood City. We expect the fabric and bond of our partnership between the university and this community to endure and strengthen for decades to come. Now that we are here breaking ground, the decision to undertake this expansion of Redwood City seems simple, almost inevitable. But as we all know, it was anything but. In 2019, it will result in 2,700 employees working on the Redwood City campus. We thank all those responsible for getting us to this point and permitting us to strategically expand and create this new Stanford campus and to embark on a new collaborative partnership with Redwood City. Thank you to all of the Redwood City municipal and community leadership who have worked closely with us on the plans and have been creative and visionary partners on the project. And thank you also to the Redwood City community for welcoming the university and our staff to this place you call home. In ending, please know that we look forward to working with you to bring this campus to fruition and to pursue our new partnership. Now I have the honor of introducing our new president and Stanford's 11th, Mark Tessier-Levine. Mark.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. Stanford is so fortunate. You've truly been a great chairman of the Board of Trustees and a great champion for what we're celebrating here today, our Stanford Redwood City campus. I want to begin by congratulating Redwood City on your 150th anniversary. I appreciate the great care you're taking to celebrate the city's historic treasures, while also embarking on efforts to bring new vitality to the community. We at Stanford celebrated our 125th anniversary last year, so we understand how milestones can be excellent time for reflection and pride, as well as time to imagine new possibilities. Today marks an exciting moment of new possibility for both Stanford and Redwood City, the official start of our shared future. Now, one of the great things about Stanford expanding beyond our historic walls and into a new community is the opportunity it provides to advance both communities. One of the best examples of that was during our conversations with your City Council leadership. In discussions about the mutual benefits of the Stanford Redwood City campus to the university and the Redwood City community, your council leadership recognized a great opportunity. Stanford is home to one of the country's leading business schools, while Redwood City is home to community and business leaders who are eager to learn, innovate, and thrive. At the suggestion of your City Council, we worked on a plan for Stanford to provide an entrepreneurship boot camp, a speaker series, and leadership trainings for members of the Redwood City community and city staff. This innovative idea from your city's leadership showed us that your City Council prioritizes and deeply cares about the community and investing in the people who make Redwood City such a special place. Roseanne Faust and Jeff Ira, thank you for your leadership on this idea. I'm confident that the educational exchanges that will result from this initiative and from other initiatives between the Stanford faculty and the Redwood City community will lead to truly great things for the university and for the city, while serving as an example of more great things to come. Now, there are a number of people and groups I want to acknowledge for making possible our Redwood City campus. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the Stanford University staff, who will move to the Stanford Redwood City campus. You demonstrate exemplary devotion to the university, our mission, and to the success of every member of our community. Now, Stanford's trustees demonstrated incredible foresight when making the decision to expand Stanford's campus to Redwood City. This campus is an important part of what is going to help prepare Stanford to tackle the challenges of the next 5, 10, 25 years and beyond. But core to the trustees' wonderful vision is our staff. We will ensure that Stanford's unique character is seeded into every part of the Stanford Redwood City plans so that the new campus reflects Stanford for all of you. And of course, you will be there. Truly, what makes Stanford Stanford is its people. Again, to all the Stanford staff, thank you for everything you do. I'm so grateful for your willingness to keep an open mind about change, for your insights and continued good humor in tackling issues that inevitably arise in the course of ambitious projects like this one. Your phenomenal feedback is improving the project. You have a big role to play in shaping this new location and making it collaborative, flexible, inventive, and very Stanford. So thank you to all of you who serve on the Tenants Advisory Committee, all of the leadership of the various departments who will be co-located, and everyone who has offered ideas for making this expansion as positive an experience as possible for everyone. I also want to echo Steve Denning's praise of Dave Lennox, the university architect, and Bob Reedy in land, buildings, and real estate. Bob and his team have spent years designing a place we will be proud to call our home. There are also a number of architects who have brought our vision forward and worked on the sustainable landscape, the shell and core of the buildings, and the tenant improvements. Also a number of designers and engineers who are working extremely creatively and carefully to honor and give life to Stanford's unique character here in Redwood City. I also want to thank all of the construction crews who are working on this project for your hard work and care. Thank you so much for all that you do. And of course, there are so many people in Redwood City to thank. From members of the Neighborhood Association, to the planning commissioners, leaders throughout city government, including the police and fire departments, the county sheriff, staff in parks and recreation, community development, and of course, the mayor, vice mayor, council, and city manager. We're so grateful for your thoughtful leadership and participation and partnership throughout this project and in the years to come. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who makes Stanford such a special university, who makes Redwood City such a special community, and who is making this project such a success. I know this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Redwood City, John Siebert. John and his family have called Redwood City home for 20 years. John, I'm humbled by your years of service to the community on the Planning Commission, the City Council, and now as mayor. So please join me in welcoming Mayor John Siebert.
Thank you, President Tessier-Levine. Thank you to the leadership at Stanford for inviting me to speak today on behalf of the City Council and the City of Redwood City. I've had the privilege of seeing this project through the Planning Commission and the City Council, and I am honored, truly honored to be here today as the Mayor of Redwood City. I am joined by some of my colleagues. I'd like to introduce my Vice Mayor, Ian Bain is here. Councilwoman and former Mayor Alicia Aguirre is here. Councilman and former Mayor Jeff G. is here. Councilwoman and former Mayor Diane Howard is here. Councilwoman Shelley Mazer is here. And I know that Councilwoman Janet Borgens really wanted to be here and was really, being a neighbor of this project, was instrumental in going through that. But it's not just the seven of us. There was a lot of work done way before myself and some of us on the council had been here before, and I'm honored today to be joined by three former mayors. Former Mayor Jim Hartnett is here. Former mayors Roseanne Faust and Jeff Ira are also here, who were the committee that worked on bringing this project to fruition with Redwood City. At groundbreakings like this, we often talk about the future partnerships between Redwood City and the organization that happens to be breaking ground. I personally referred to projects in the past, including this one, as pebbles in the pond, looking forward to the future filled with positive ripple effects around the area. While I truly believe we still have a wonderful future of partnerships with Stanford here in Redwood City, what is amazing is the incredible ripple effects that Stanford has already had on our city. As I reflect on the list, it's like you've broken ground, built the campus, and I've already been here for years. I'm sure it doesn't feel like that to some of you, but let me share with you a few of the many benefits that Stanford has already brought to Redwood City, and there's just still a big pile of dirt out here. A winning football team, and we've definitely needed that in the Bay Area. The support, actually, I thought at one point maybe we could just build a stadium here and move the football team here, and that'd be great too. But support and expertise for our small business community, enhancements to the Friendly Acres, Redwood Village, and North Fair Oaks neighborhoods through street improvements, stormwater management, and many other things, recreation and wellness, sponsorship of the arts and entertainment programs in our vibrant downtown, much needed support of education in Redwood City schools, transportation improvements, including the famous Marguerite Shuttle, funding of other critical community benefits, and the list really could go on. That's just a partial list. But let me remind you, those are things that have already been done by Stanford University in Redwood City. And at this groundbreaking symbolizes, we are just getting started. We still have a future to look forward to as this project is developed. Expansion of our award-winning recycled water project that almost single-handedly helped protect us from even worse effects of the catastrophic drought we just came through. Sustainable land use and building design covering energy, transportation, water, and air quality. Street and pedestrian improvements, undergrounding of utilities, and additional open spaces. And again, the list could go on. And there's even things, I think what's amazing, that we don't even know about that I know Stanford will partner with Redwood City. So today, as we celebrate this milestone of groundbreaking, I want to celebrate and thank Stanford for the past, present, and future partnerships that have and will continue to serve our community. It is truly my honor to say, on behalf of my colleagues in the city of Redwood City, welcome to Redwood City. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Elliott. I'm with Stanford University, and it's truly my honor to invite up the Redwood City and Stanford leadership to help us set the foundation for Stanford Redwood City. So come on up. We're going to get to work.
Okay. Where's the lane? Shovel it. Yeah. Okay, let's go. All right. Great. Good. I think we can actually turn the earth.
All right. Thank you all. And thank you all for coming. And please stay around and mingle and enjoy our food and beverages, and have a great afternoon.
One more, everybody a little closer together. Yeah, just for the photo op. Can we do one more? We're going to do one more photo op.
A little bit closer.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
Come on in close.
Maybe just a little tighter, a little tighter.
Great.
Okay, everybody look up. Ready, 1, 2, 3. That's great. And now everybody take a big scoop and look up. That's great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. That's right. That's why you pay us the big bucks.
Bring in the big equipment.
I'm escaping.
That's right. Your time will come, Shelley. Your time will come. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think